Guys, check it out, the Doom Open Beta this weekend. I've had a little play of it already, so I've already got a kind of feel for it. Let's go on Steam, let's just have a quick look, see how things are going. It's not on my front page. Interestingly, I've got Battleborn installed. I also have Doom already installed since I've been playing it. Battleborn is here. No Doom. Okay. Let's go and have a look for Doom. Okay, no, still not showing up. Doom Open Beta. Here we go. Right. What's going on here then? 36% of the 10,102 reviews for this game are positive. Wow. What's happened there then? Let's have a look here. Okay, first review we get is a positive review. Saved me from spending $60. It's not a good start. So I've only got 3,647 positive reviews and 6,455 negative. So let's have a look, see what other people have got to say. I think the only time I'm more disappointed with the game opening experience is Diablo 3. Yes, I understand it's beta. It's supposed to be released in a month. This is pretty much the final product now. This doesn't reserve a Doom title. Remember when Doom had loadouts, tiny maps that don't make sense, XP progression with COD-like perks, forced mouse acceleration, matchmaking, and was basically a console game. No, I don't, because that's not what Doom is. I'm going to preface this by saying that I've never played another Doom game before. Fanboying in no way affects how I feel about this game. Let's start with some of the things I liked. Player weapon customization. Okay, well that seems positive so far. Oh man, this guy's written an essay. Wow, he's just basically, I think, written something about everything. However, it just says overall multiplayer is bad. Balance issues. One more universe that Bethesda popularised for casual playing. It's bland, boring, and like many others, mediocre. I wait to see the Doom, my favourite game. Good. It's called Doom. Music is kind of neat, bad, uninspired map design, unlocking stuff, experience levels, class loadouts, Send me up a generic shooter 149, please. Actually, that is exactly how I feel about this game. That's kind of his uninstall just works fine. Right, well, it doesn't seem to be getting too good reviews. It's negative. So, wow, yeah. I've been on Reddit as well to have a look and see what things were going on there. And more or less people were saying the same sort of thing. Not best impressed with the game. I think, to be honest, Reddit's been a little bit fairer than the Steam feedback has on here, but generally speaking, the Steam feedback can be a little bit of a playground, so it's got to be expected. But let's have a look at some actual gameplay then, whilst I carry on talking in the well, over the top of it. So yeah, I installed the game the other day. Started to play a game. Initially, I was kind of like, oh, okay, this looks pretty nice. This looks like it could be okay. Did feel very console-ish right from the very beginning. The menu systems just feel like they're from a console, and okay, they've got like the escape key and everything like that. You know, like telling you can press keys on your keyboard to do things. But it just felt like you could have taken escape for back and had triangle or circle or press square to do this, and it would be exactly the same thing. It just, you know, it just felt like a console-y sort of interface. But yeah, I kind of cruised on. I thought I've got to give the game a chance. I've got to play it at least a little bit, have a few games. Multiplayer only. in this beta weekend, which is a bit disappointing. I mentioned Battleborn already being on my Steam feed, and the Battleborn beta actually has some single player maps which you can play cooperatively as well, and that's very good. But we're here to talk about Doom, so we'll come back to my opinion on what they should have done later. So I started the game up, got into a match, and immediately I'm noticing these loadouts and hack modules, and I'm thinking to myself, why are these here? This isn't very Doom-like. They're giving you a bit more freedom of customization, but they're from another game basically, and it just doesn't quite feel right in a game that I'm expecting from Doom. I know the game's got to evolve and move on, but it's just I don't know, it just doesn't feel right having these here, and that's before you even start using them, because you've got to level up before you can make use of all these things. So stuff is being gated away behind leveling, and as you level up, you unlock more paint for your customizing your character's look. More armor pieces, again to customize the look of your character. You can unlock new weapons. You can unlock more hack modules. Presumably, given that some of the videos and trailers that we've seen people playing demons other than the Revenant. So presumably there's some way of unlocking that. I'm guessing again that's going to be gated behind some sort of level system. And that kind of grates with me. I used to play Doom 2. I used to play Doom 2 multiplayer. I've even played Doom, and they were great. They were good games. They were all about the single player, and you then had a multiplayer feature built in, which is great. And that's how they should have been. And that, I think, is going to be the source of all these negative comments. Because, as a friend of mine said when we were having a chat the other day, Doom games were all about the single player. And the multiplayer was something else that was there that worked and was good. And it was fast. And that's also not what this game feels like. It doesn't feel particularly fast in your movement. You're running around, you're jumping, you've got double jumping. You can whip the mouse around as much as you like and spin in circles, but it just still seems a little bit slow. And my Twitch game isn't what it used to be. I've not really been playing much other than Team Fortress 2 in that respect for quite some time now. But other than my first couple of games where I'm just getting to grips with the game, I easily found myself with high KD ratio, and either that's the people I'm playing against or the matchmaking is terrible. And I have an opinion that the matchmaking system is pretty terrible, as my very first game that we played, the enemy team beat us something like 75 to 20 something, clearly showing that they had been playing more, were higher levels, better equipped, or knew what they were doing, whereas our team must have all been new players, and we just got rinsed. Wasn't a good intro to the game, and that itself was kind of off-putting. But I mean, let's go back to the game then. So when you start a game, you can pick. I've only got three classes unlocked at the moment, and this locks you to certain weapons for that character. So you get, I think it's a Vortex rifle, which is basically a sniper rifle, super shotgun, which has got balance issues. The super shotgun is like a win button. It just clears everything. It's probably the best weapon to choose, to be honest. You also then get a portable teleporter for that same character. So that's one loadout. Again, portable teleporters aren't anything new. I think it was Unreal or something that had a portable teleporter or something similar at one point. You've then got another class which has got a rocket launcher, which there are a lot of complaints about it be doing very little damage, and it works slightly differently to like normal rocket launcher. You'd expect to fire it and it would, you know, pretty much travel to the opponent, explode, big explosions, death. That's what you want, really. This one, you can fire it, and it has a detonate option, so you can explode the rocket at any point you wish along its journey. So you don't have to directly hit your opponent or try and hit the floor, which is kind of interesting. It adds a new dimension to it, but again, it feels kind of very slow for the rocket to get to where it should be going. Certainly not as fast paced as I don't know, like Quake, for example. So what else does that character have? Oh, the character also has a frag grenade as well. And then the last character, I think, has a frag grenade, a super shotgun, and an assault rifle, if I remember correctly. I never really used the assault rifle very much because the super shotgun is just so much better. So there is definitely an issue of balance there. So that needs to be fixed. Glory kills are quite cool. If you can get close enough to somebody and their health is low enough, they will glow with like a yellowy gold sheen across their character's armour, and then you can hit the F key if you're playing on PC, and you'll do a glory kill, which just takes them down and does it in some sort of gory way. So you'll snap their neck or cave their head in with your knee or something like that. Now there are lots of them. I certainly haven't seen all of them. I'm fairly sure somebody killed me with a flying kick as I was jumping through the air at one point, which was quite cool. So, you know, the glory kills are pretty entertaining, but I imagine after a while they will start to get a bit boring. After you pour in the amount of hours you would need to be playing this multiplayer or hopefully single player. So yeah, then you've got the demon runes, which spawn in every few minutes. You see one demon rune spawns in, and you want to be the players controlling the area where the demon rune spawns in. When you pick it up, you get almost a Rise of the Triad, I think, kind of thing where your character just like morphs into a demon. And I say Rise of the Triad because I remember back in the day that Rise of the Triad had some quite quirky little gameplay components to it, and I'm sure there was like a god mode thing where you could fire these energy globes or something out which would kill people, and it just kind of felt like that. And this is where it kind of then starts to become a bit weird. It's the multiplayer of it is trying to be Doom with a generic looking armor guy, which you can customize a bit. Call of Duty type loadouts in there. You've got hack modules in there. The gameplay feels slower. Some people have called it similar to Halo. It's like it's a mishmash of all these other games and not wanting to be Doom anymore, which is a shame because Doom is Doom. These other games should be copying Doom, not the other way around, and that's, I think, what's kind of spoiling it. Now, I've not given the game a review yet because I don't think it's fair just to rate the game based on its multiplayer. because as my friend said, it's the single player. Doom was always this, it was the single player missions. You had I'm trying to think how many maps there were now. 30 odd maps, 40 maps maybe. They were big, or certainly felt big for the game, probably not big by today's standards, as opposed to these arenas that you're fighting in here, which are very small. And you have double jumping and ledge grips to help you move around them. So you've got the elevation and height differences, little bits you can nip through to cut through from one section to another. But basically it's just like a spaghetti of routes through a small arena, and the layout is just there. It's just is. I can't think of any other way of putting it really. They're weird, they're strange, they're small little arenas where not very much is going on, and yeah, that's all I can think to say about it really. I mean, the levels should be bigger. They should be like they were in the some of the old games, not necessarily Doom, but you know, the classics like Unreal Tournament. I mean, the Unreal Tournament maps, even what was it, Two Worlds? They were big. It didn't seem big because of the way it was built, but it was actually a pretty big map. Team Fortress 2. That map is actually quite small, really. But everybody's moving so fast as well that it doesn't matter. And that's the problem again. It's the speed, it's just the movement. It just feels slow with small arenas. And I don't know. It just doesn't feel right. So yeah, but you know, this it's a new game, and it's not the old. Wow, could I have enough background noise going on whilst I'm recording? It's not the Doom of old. It's not the Quake of old. It's not the Unreal Tournament of old, or even of the day, really, because it's just not. It just doesn't feel right. Too slow, too small arenas that are just a spaghetti of routes. And yeah, that's it really. So anyway, as I was saying, it's not really fair to pick on it now for its multiplayer because of what it is. It's multiplayer. If it's a good Doom game, or if it turns out to be a good Doom game, and the trailers have been looking pretty smart, it should be all about single player, and that is what they should have included this weekend. The single player mission should have been there. Battleborn has got 2 single player missions. Actually both of them. The maps are pretty huge, and you can play them cooperatively, and they are fun. And you've also got multiplayer, and it's a MOBA type really when you think about it, with creeps and what have you. So it's a slightly different game to Doom, which is trying to be an arena, but it's tried too hard and missed the point of Doom. And I'll reserve judgment until it finally is released and we can see the single players missions, but that's what they should have done. They should have included at least 2, maybe 3 single player maps to let people have that taster of what the game is going to be like, unless of course they haven't done that many single player maps and they've concentrated on the multiplayer, and in which case they have fucked up. They should have stuck with the single player, and I hope that they have stuck with the single player, and we will see when it finally comes out whether or not they have put the time and effort into the single player maps and the single player gameplay, and that the multiplayer aspect of it is just is there. It's been worked on, it's been developed, it just hasn't been balanced as well as it could have been for this to be a great multiplayer during this open weekend. And that's it. That's really my thoughts on it. Should have included single player. Should have let us play 2 or 3 maps. Should have been able to play those on our own or cooperatively. So we could have really got a taste for the game. We really could have seen what's going on. And we really could have enjoyed it. But instead, we got this multiplayer, which, okay, it can be a little bit of fun, but it just doesn't feel right. It just doesn't quite feel like Doom. So hopefully, you know, when it's released, we'll see it as a better game. But for now, based on what we've seen, that's it. But I'm going to reserve judgment on the game as a whole until we get our hands on the single player. Anyway, that's me done for rambling on this. Thanks for watching, and don't forget, like and subscribe, and I'll see you the next time I decide to rant about something rather than just sticking to my usual Let's Plays. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.